Hi, welcome to my podcast, Becoming a Cut Flower Grower. I'm your host, Lydia, and I'm here to share my year of growing and selling cut flowers. I'll be giving you the lowdown on everything I'm doing and sharing all the highs and lows, the good times and the inevitable disasters, all in real time. Join me on my cut flower journey, starting right now. Hello, and welcome to the latest episode. It is Friday the... Excuse me, I'm going to have to start that again. Sorry, hang on. It's Friday, the 14th of November 2025, and a very, very warm welcome to the episode. I have literally just got off the online video call welcome meeting for Jenny Marks's 6-figure flower farming course, and it was amazing, absolutely amazing. So cool to see lots and lots of fellow growers, everyone very enthusiastic. Module 1 has just dropped today, actually, and I dipped my toe in, started off, and then just ran out of time and had to go and do other stuff, so I had to stop. But it's looking extremely promising and very hard work. I think I really urgently need to block off more time in the diary to actually get it done. There are proper exercises where you actually have to think about things and really think about things and write a lot of things down. So it's not just being lectured to for an hour, it's very, very involved. Now, my first batch of tulips have been dispatched, which is very exciting news and very quick as well. So exciting and terrifying in equal measure because I have not yet worked out where they're going to go. I thought I would do them all in crates this year to make life simpler, but I haven't done it before, so I have no idea whether it's actually going to be simpler. And I don't have enough crates. So I need to think about that over the course of the weekend. And I spent this morning unblocking gutters. I have put a short reel of me on my Instagram looking absolutely appalling in the pouring rain, unblocking the gutters just to counteract all the really gorgeous videos that people normally put on Instagram where everything's just all lovely and beautiful looking. I thought, now I'll just do one to show what it looks like if you're disorganized as a cut flower grower like me. So I had been focused entirely on the IBC number 1, which is my main storage tank, which is up by the feed room, and it's the one I see every day, and I keep a close eye on it. And I've already had the gutters cleaned. Well, I say I've had them cleaned. I cleaned the gutters myself. So I stand on a plastic chair with a couple of cadens, and I've just pushed all the muck out so that it doesn't either block the gutter and then you get the water just pouring over the top, or the leaves get pushed down into the IBC where they sink to the bottom and then they block the outlet. And I had been keeping a hawk's eye on that and then completely forgot that I've got IBC3 going on, and that had blocked absolutely solid. So I went down there with a screwdriver this morning and undid parts of the guttering. And there was a great big, like a massive, I don't know, there's the only word to describe it. It's like a massive sausage of rubbish and leaves and seed pods and all sorts of stuff came out. So that was quite mucky. And I got soaked because I forgot, obviously, that when you unscrew the downpipe, everything that's just sitting in the gutter is going to flood right down. So, you know, that horrible moment when you get water running up your sleeves up and it gets up to your elbows, you're like, oh God, I'm soaked. Anyway, I've done all that. And since we last spoke, I have been working on my rose wish list. Now, if you're a regular listener, you will know I've been running a rose list most of this year, adding to it, refining it, and trying to choose what I'm actually going to grow. Now, a few weeks ago, well, it was probably a month ago, I ordered my first batch of roses and they were on offer. So I got them through J. Parker's and they had a sale on at the time. And it's always a good idea to buy stuff when it's discounted anyway. And obviously, you're supposed to be buying everything at trade prices, but I don't always do that. So I bought a batch of roses and then I kind of just sort of separated them in a way from this ultimate rose list that I'm running. And I checked the other day and I've actually already ordered 32, which is quite a few. So I can't go mad and order too many more. But it is the right time of year to be ordering them if you want to get them at a decent price because they'll be coming bare root at the moment, which is cheaper than if you get them in a pot. So I've got 40 on my wish list and I do need to reduce this number down so I can buy a smaller number of varieties. And I was going to say in groups of 3 or 5. And that is, of course, how gardeners think, which is how you're not supposed to think when you're doing cut flower growing, because they don't need to be in odd numbers because we're not setting up a garden, we're doing a cut flower farm. So they can be in any kind of number that I wanted. So I'm wondering whether like twos, fours, sixes, or whether I should just go for it and just buy 10 blocks of 10 of, say, 5 different varieties. And then what would I have then? Like 50? Yeah, not so like 10 different varieties, something like that. Um, yeah, so I definitely need to have multiples of the same one so that I've got enough stems at any one time. I don't want to just have like 3 stems of one variety available at any one time. And here is how I've actually been choosing these roses, because if you're a rose fan and you've ever had a rose catalogue drop through the post, you'll know that there are absolutely hundreds, and a lot of the roses don't even make it into the catalogues. That the catalogues are the ones that they just want to sell, and often the most popular ones and the loveliest ones. I'm not knocking the catalogues at all, but often you can go online and you'll find an absolute ton of other roses that are available. And then when you really start digging into it, there are roses available from growers all over the world, and there are just enormous amounts of roses, and I'm finding it quite difficult to get this number down. But the main thing I'm going on, and as you can imagine, I have made a spreadsheet to do this, because it's not just a question of picking the prettiest blooms. You don't want to order something just because it's pretty and then find it's only 2 foot tall. So there's a couple of things which have made me, there's a couple of things that I have used to compile this list. And one is that the roses, for me, for the way I want to sell them, which is primarily to wedding and event florists, is that they need to look really wedding-y. So that might sound a bit of a cliche, because you could say that, oh, well, aren't all roses just very pretty and wedding-y? But some are really, really wedding-y. So the doubles, the ones in very, very rich, creamy shades of cream, apricot, pale pink, they're very luscious. They look wildly expensive, very, very glamorous. And so not sort of smaller single heads, but these like really, really punchy, fantastic doubles. And I want to buy ones that are beautifully fragrant as well. It's one of the things I've tried, or I am still trying to do on the field, is to have as many fragrant flowers as possible, because it is very difficult. In fact, it's almost impossible to get a rose that smells of anything from a florist, from a supermarket. The ones that get imported are almost without exception without fragrance. They are bred to be to look a certain way, and fragrance is not a priority. And the florists that I've been working with this year are all very excited about the roses next year, and they are looking forward to having a much more natural gardeny rose to deal with. I don't think they're going to stop buying the imports, because for certain things, I'm sure the imports are absolutely perfect. But they definitely want this very, very wedding-y type of look. Now, I'm also getting a mixture of shrubs and climbers. I think the climbers are going to be very useful to maximize space, because I don't have masses of space, despite the new area where Nigel lifted the turf for me. That is rapidly filling up already, and I feel like I've barely got going, and I haven't put any annuals in. Obviously, I've just been bunging in all the foliage, the peonies, the hydrangeas, and before you know it, I mean, I could just fill that up with perennials that I've divided. And the plan was to have masses of annuals next year as well. So space is definitely a consideration. And I thought climbers would be great, because obviously they're climbing, so their footprint is not going to be very big. And I've got plenty of structures that they could go up as well. So like Roosty's house and the old duck house, which isn't used for ducks anymore after they got stolen. Plenty of other things. And if I'm very, very nice to my other half, he might build some kind of pergola, some kind of, he doesn't know this yet. Hopefully he's not listening. He won't know what I'm plotting for him, but some kind of structure where I can get the climbers to go up that. Now, I'm also selecting, the majority are going to be floribundas. So these are like the spray roses that you see. So you get multiple blooms on one stem, so 5 or something like that. And the florists absolutely love these. Lots of reasons. I mean, they fill a lot of space in the arrangements. They look very generous, and you get a lovely intensity of color as well. It's like you get a lot of bang for your buck if you've got a spray rose. And I'm also looking as well at how robust the plants are. Like this is slightly further down on the priority list. I would love to have disease resistant, robust roses that are all over 4 foot tall. That would be amazing. If there's something out there that is the best flower in the whole world, but it does get diseases, it may make it onto the list, but it may get planted away from all the others so it doesn't infect everybody. Because some of the older roses are, not more susceptible to diseases. They've not had all of that bred out of them like the modern hybrids. So that's something else to think about. But I need to get that list refined in the next week so I can get an order in and then get them delivered and put in the ground. Now, we have had a torrential rain all day, started last night, and I was up on a ladder at 5 o'clock in the evening in the dark with a head torch, clearing out my gutters at home because that had been overlooked as well. And we were supposed to have some kind of apocalyptic rain today. It wasn't as anywhere near as bad for me in this area as they said it was, but it was still awful, and it hasn't stopped since last night. So all day long we've had rain. So I thought for the final part of the podcast, I'm going to take you through my tips for managing on a rainy November day. So number one, and you may have to do some of these in advance, actually. It's not necessarily something that you can do on the day. I guess it's in preparation for a rainy November day. And at the top of the list is mulch your paths with bark or lay formal paths to avoid slipping over and also avoiding heavy wear and tear on your paths. If you can get your hands on loads of chipped bark, then I do think it's a really good idea. So I have access to some. I've got a landscaper that's going to be dropping off some truckloads for me. They chip stuff all of the time. And sometimes they want to get rid of it. Like often they pay to get rid of this stuff. And if it's just for paths or high impact areas, wear and tear areas, then it's not a problem. I mean, you do need to make sure that they are not going to bring you anything that's got honey fungus or anything that's diseased or anything that's too old and it's just full of rot and mold and just horrible stuff that you don't want. But generally speaking, I think bark does really well on the ground and it's a good surface to walk on. There's texture, you've got a bit of grip on there. And it's especially important that you stay safe at this time of year on your field. You don't want to be slipping over if you're the only one that's out there and you're by yourself, especially if you're on a slope like me. It's far too easy to fall over. And if you end up out in the dark, which is not ideal, but it often ends up at this time of year that we're out doing stuff on the plot. Hedges, hedges, head torches are great, but there's no substitute for having a steady path underneath you. And number two, this kind of leads on from number one, is to have some good footwear with really proper grippy soles because you really don't want to be um, having anything that's got any kind of smooth sole. And I'm probably talking to the converted and you're thinking, God, this woman, honestly, who goes out with like slippy soles on? But some type of footwear is better than others. And I use these short like jodhpur boots, but they are not jodhpur boots that you'd go riding in. They're like workman trade boots. I actually buy mine from Screwfix, which is a builder's merchant, and they are completely robust and very bomb proof, and I get through one pair a year. Now they have a steel toe cap and a steel layer underneath the sole of them, which is really helpful when you are digging and you don't, so that you don't have the spade or whatever it is going up through your boot. And they're also pretty good if you step on anything. Now they're not foolproof because I stepped on. Oh no, I had my pumps on in the summer. Yeah, that's why my foot hurt. So when my other half made these gates for me and he had to snip the inside of a 6 foot fence panel, cut the inner mesh out, and then we cut it in half with bolt cutters, and we made like these very not glamorous double doors to go into the double gates to go into the field. He didn't snip the mesh at the bottom, where the bottom of the fence panel on the ground is. He didn't snip the bits right down to the actual structure of the panel. And as I was walking over it, in fact, it happened a couple of times over the summer, I had my pumps on up there. and the metal went straight through the sole of my shoe and into my foot, and it was extremely painful. So I think it's very good to have boots that have got real proper, they're almost like snow tires, they're absolutely ridiculous. They're perfect. They're also oil resistant for some reason, which isn't particularly relevant to me, but it seems to be a selling point for this boot. I don't quite know what people are doing, but as I say, they're for builders. They are ladies. I do buy ladies ones. I'm not wearing men's boots. They are ladies' boots, but they are very, very workmanlike. And I keep my old, completely knackered pairs in a cupboard in the feed room up on the field. I keep them in a cupboard so the mice don't eat them. But just in case I ever have to go up to the field in an emergency, or I've stopped there for some reason and I'm in my tidy clothes, which is an extremely rare event these days. But if I have to, then at least I've got some boots that I could put on in an emergency or lend them to somebody if they also need to get up there and they don't have boots. So, number 3 is to check your gutters are clear. Don't be an idiot like me and have to go out in an apocalyptic rain day in order to sort your gutters out, because you'll get absolutely soaked. And do check that your storage tanks are filling up properly when you have a lot of rain and there isn't a blockage somewhere else. And don't leave any hoses hanging out the side so that the water will just siphon itself out. And I also put chicken mesh over the tops of the tanks so little animals don't fall in. It's not really a problem at this time of year. It's definitely a problem in the summer when the animals are looking for water. But I also don't want to find a squirrel or a rat in the bottom of one of the water tanks. So when it's super rainy and you can't get outside, or you don't want to go outside, it's a great opportunity to take as many free online courses as you possibly can, or paid courses if that's what you want to do. Read books, watch YouTubes, and just improve your skills. That's what I try and do when it's super rainy. Now, there haven't been that many days this year when you can't get outside. It's been really very, very dry and not a particularly rainy autumn, I don't think. I mean, some autumns I've had so many days when I have just not wanted to be out there because I hate working in the rain. I mean, I love being on the plot in the rain because it's like it's my plot and I love being there and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. But if you're paying me to go and work somewhere and it's raining, then I won't go because I hate getting all the tools wet and I just hate it. It's epic to come home and have to dry everything out and wash all the tools, and I hate it. So it's a great opportunity, if you can, to take as many courses and do as much learning as you can on days like this. Now, wreath prepping is also something that you can do on a rainy November day. This could be just stripping the stems, preparing the bunches, bunching all the bunches together, really just getting everything ready for when it's actually time to start making them. And you may also, or you may have already done this because everyone's more organized than me, is order their wreath rings and all the wires and the ribbon. I mean, I don't know that anywhere really runs out of anything anymore. I'm probably just thinking like an old person where supplies were limited. Now everything's sort of international, so you can probably get anything at any time of year, and it doesn't matter. But it doesn't it doesn't hurt to be organized and have everything ready so that when it comes time to making wreaths, you are literally good to go. And the final thing on my list is don't compare yourself to what everyone else is doing on Instagram at this time of year. It's very hard to go on there. I love going on there and I look at what everybody's doing and all the people I'm following and whoever's, well, I was going to say whoever's following me. What I mean is whoever I'm following, and have a look at what they're doing. And I love seeing what everybody's doing, but sometimes it can be really quite disheartening because most of the videos are really beautiful and they're very lovely and everything just looks amazing. And you see everybody's done all their seed sowing and all their transplants are gone outside and they've done their tulip planting and they finished splitting their perennials and they've done this, that, and the other. And I'm looking at it like, oh yeah, that reminds me, I need to order my tulips. Yes, yes. So don't feel despondent. I mean, if you've been listening to me all year, you will know that I'm late for everything and I was very late with the season. But on the plus side, I sold a bouquet last week or this week, because I was late and I still had stuff when everybody didn't. So there is a silver lining. Although I do get the feeling you're supposed to be selling more at the beginning of the season when there's more demand than at the end. But the point is, don't worry if you're behind. Most of the plants will catch up anyway. They just do. And it's not worth putting yourself under pressure or feeling despondent because it looks like everybody else has got their shit together and you haven't. Because the people that haven't got their shit together, there are going to be tons of them. They're just not going to post a video of it because they won't have a video to show that they haven't done anything. But believe me, there will be masses of them, including me, out there that haven't done it yet. Now, plans for the weekend because it is Friday night. I'm going to dig up some free pink Japanese anemones tomorrow. That's very exciting in the morning. I have still got loads to get in the ground, including iris, peonies, dahlias. They are still in the wheelbarrow. And I have to transplant some more achillea. So at least the soil is going to be nice and moist, ready to receive everything. So that's a blessing. I've also got loads of work to do on this new course, which is terribly exciting, but also incredibly daunting, and some wreath prepping of my own to do. So absolutely masses. And I've got a coffee with the members of my flower farming group on Monday as well, which I'm really, really looking forward to going and meeting everybody because I haven't actually met everybody. That will be awesome. And I'll let you know how that goes when I am back on Tuesday. So I hope wherever you are and whatever you're doing, you have a wonderful weekend and that the weather is on your side. And I'm sending you the very bestest wishes for a lovely weekend. And I very much hope that you will come back and join me on Tuesday. All right, all the best.